Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we're giving you the day 3 about update for the top G2 KvK groups in the final zone and to see how things are playing out. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because that was a lot. Thanks. So, let's start with the number 1 KvK group, which again is EISWBA Rage going up against NTS Echo and 25IL. Now, we're seeing essentially kind of like a northwest versus southeast. That's kind of been the player, east versus west, if you will. And at the moment, right, so you have NTS over here, Echo's up top, and then I believe it's 25 IW here on the west-west side. So based on where we left off before, right, NTS had some territory up here, 25IL had some territory, and then Echo had some territory as well. It looks like maybe about the same-ish so far. Let's go and take a look at some battlefronts, right? I just want to see what's happening here. So doesn't look like any action that we're seeing right now. It looks like Echo's probably in the same place. Oh wait, hang on. I thought I saw some people over here. Who is this? Okay. So that we got to keep going down, but no action at the moment. Okay. How about here in the south? So clearly some territory has been made up here in the south area where NTS and 25AL getting pushed back a little bit. Let's see what's happening now. I mean, to me, I almost wonder, maybe we'll do a more of a deep dive on like KvK and like strategy and just gameplay analysis on the number 1 KvK. But again, it doesn't look like at least any action going on right now. Let me see here. Who's this? So this is Rage. And then you got some 25IL peeps that are over there. EIL, EIS is out. But no one there, doesn't look like, from Echo at the moment. Okay. So essentially, oh, never mind. We got some people TPing in maybe, or that was a TP out. I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, so currently doesn't look like anything's happening at the moment. Are we just upgrading at the moment? Maybe. Oh no, looks like we're throwing down another flag to fill the territory up there. Okay. So, I mean, at the moment, it looks like Dragon Control is theirs because obviously they're on the south. See, to me, this kind of sucks because I feel like because you can only enter the dragon from the south, why don't they make it to where you can enter the dragon from multiple areas? We'll maybe get into this in kind of a post-KvK breakdown. However, it looks like the EIS team has made up a little bit of ground, and they clearly control dragon right now. So, I mean, if you really think about it, the onus is on the Echo team to do any pushing. It's not necessarily as though the EIS team really has to push them. However, right, like we usually talk about, I would consider this, at least if things were to end here, like we've talked about before, where this comes out more of like an objective win, right, more so than like a domination style, where you're pushing them out of the zone completely. But like we've always said, right at the end of the day, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. Let's continue and go to 60-46 here. Okay, trying not to die. And 60-46. As you can tell, I'm just getting over something, apparently. RFF, BTX, MFD. They're going up against A2G, ROG, and WAO. Now, in this one, let's take a look, because remember, for 46, A2G wasn't participating, right? It was a 2v3. Which means that it was WAO and ROG. So it looks like WAO getting pushed back by RFF, and then I think A2G, or excuse me, ROG over here. So let's look at this one. What's happening here on this? So it looks like ROG is still fighting them there at the mountain choke. Doesn't seem like there's anything happening on the level 4 passes. So maybe MFD is just like, look, we'll fight you straight up, because maybe they think they'll just get more PvP out of it. And then let's see what's happening here. So it looks like RFF appears to be kind of running away with it on here. Again, I don't think we probably anticipated anything massive to happen in the final zone, given the 2v3. And I think it's safe to say things are just kind of playing out as you would have anticipated in the most likely chances. So again, if things continue the way they are, but I think it's fair to say at the moment that the season here looks like it is going to the BTX team. Okay, let's go to 47. 47 here, we have matchup of Apex, RAC, FWY, and then it's 30 NA, 21 SW, and NWE for 47 here. Now, everyone made it into the final zone, it should be stated. So let's look for 30 NA, 21 SW, NW. So this is like a south versus north approach, right? And you can see the 30 NA team, right, having control of Dragon. And then you got RAC, FWY, and Apex, right? So, I mean, they basically have to break. Oh, gosh. You know, I'm starting to notice a trend here now when I really analyze the map and we look at positionings and who kind of gets where first versus who got there second. Okay, something I'm sure for another video. However, there is still action and fighting that is going on, which is great to see. Let's look on the Eastern front here. What's happening here with FW or Apex? Oh, interesting. So Apex is building right now. And, oh, wow, are they also... Damn, so they're like really working their way up over here. Are they destroying some territory? No, they're building that. But oh, are they trying to build some over here? I can't tell. Oh, they are. So, wow. So, I mean, if they get these off, yo, Ray Cloud, shout out to the homie. I mean, if they get these off and they continue to push this east side, they might be able to push SW in, which could relieve some pressure here for FW and RAC. I guess we'll have to see how things play out. But, I mean, the action is still going on. It almost feels like it maybe could still be anyone's game. Let's go over to 60-48 for this one. This is a 2v3. Remember, because IWV didn't have any level 5. Or I'm sorry, it is now a 3v3, right? Because IWV was able to push in from the level 5 pass here and start working their way up. So it has turned into a 3v3 now, which is great. So it's OMG 3-3 IWV, and they're going up against FG, GG, and K211, right? Now, as we look currently, right, it is OMG 3-3 and IWV that are controlling the drag, and then it's FGGG K211, right? So like IWV, oh wow, so they're getting close, right? They're still, actually they're already here. So they've pushed, but now I need to see where is FGGG and them. So IW, who's this? Oh, so this is GG. Are we pushing them back? Doesn't look like it. And then 3-3's over here. OMG. Red is FG. And then we got to find K211, which I think they renamed, right? Yeah, I think that's them. K211 over here. Yeah, because that's OMG too. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I think they're over here on the west side. So let's see what's happening here at the choke, at the mountain choke. So it looks like FG still fighting. Okay, so still some action there. There should be another choke up here, but no action happening there. Okay, so looks like at the moment, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I guess 211. There you are, right? So it's, oh, I see. So they're actually over here. Excuse me. I thought that was them. Thankfully, I looked around a little bit more and we made that correction. So, okay. So it looks like they've been pushed out. And the same thing is, again, right? It's not as though the OMG 3-3 IWV team really needs to push out, right? They have control. So let's go to 60-49. This one we know is pretty much over, right? I mean, it was kind of a 2v3 situation going into the final zone, right? Where the teams were WGL went solo, but then kind of ad hoc'd and tagged along with ED and NXW after final zone because they were attacking OO in zone 2. And then The one team is ED NXW for the second team, I guess, if you want to consider that. And then the third team being TFS, BNR, and Squiggly Eyes. So, or OO. Again, KvK's pretty much already been over, right? We know that the TFS team has pretty much already won, right? It's NXW and ED with NXW over here on this side. I don't know if there's any action, nothing there on the bridge, but looks like they're still fine. I mean, listen, man, get your PvP in. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's going to be beneficial for you to still get any either form of experience or just fun, right? Even though the season's pretty much over, right? Disappointingly so, of course. And I think that's fair to say. Maybe we'll talk about that near the end once things are, you know, maybe a little bit more officially concluded, maybe in a day or two. But, you know, maybe we'll talk about the KvK 2 as well a little bit more. Then we look at where, I can't remember where ED was here, if it was already, because that's the NXW side. Case, TFS case. It's got to be like over here or something, right? Oh, no. They were here. I'm tripping. They were here. BNR was coming up and flanking behind. So now ED's over here. It doesn't look like they're really giving them any trouble right now on any of the fronts. And doesn't look like they're trying to push over the bridge. Okay. Yeah. So again, right, season's pretty much already over. Let's go to 60-50. Here, this is going to be TC, IR, Lion, and they're going up against GEX, WER, and my dad. And so for this one, it was pretty much a 2v2, right? Because GEX zone 1 locked, IR was close to a zone 1 lock. So it's pretty much at the moment, Dad, WER, and they're going up against TC and Lion. Now, TC on this side, LC, which I think is Lion over there. And, now IR was actually able to get in. Oh, excuse me. So that must have been, I wonder if we saw this yesterday, and I probably maybe made the same correction. But it looks like IR is in it now with TC Lion. And then now we need to find where GEX or WER and Dad is. Let's see real quick. So Lion's there. Oh, wow. So like, wow, it's like hard over then, huh? There we go. So there's WER. And then where's Dad? So they're over here. So WR's there, Dad's over there. And then I don't think GEX. Oh, they did. GEX did get in a little bit. So they're over here. But nothing's happening. So I guess it did turn into a 3v3. But it looks like it's pretty much over. Doesn't look like they're pushing anymore too as well on either side, unless WER is going to be trying to get a little bit more action in, but doesn't look to be the case. So season more or less seems pretty much over. But like I said, we'll see how things look over the next day, maybe when we call it officially, because there are some that are still seeing some action. And then we get to 60-51. Now in 60-51, this was expected to be a 3v2 because BB was apparently zone 1 locked. So the matchup here was overall was going to be BB X Seal going up against RK3 GNR LXV. Now, it looks like the season for the most part is pretty much over. If that's the case, you're looking at like the RK3 team or LXV team kind of taking it here. But let's see where X and Seal are at currently. So Seal over here, X I think was over here in the green. So let's see what's happening. Are they still, oh wow, so they got in on them. And now it looks like LXV trying to get a tower down over here. I wonder if they're pushing any of the towers over here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're working down one tower here. Okay. And then doesn't look like they're pushing through that side. And then there's Seal over here. Oh, interesting. So RK3 is look like building, looks like they're getting their bastion down over here at the moment. Okay. So yeah, so it looks like, again, maybe some small action, but it doesn't look like there's too much resistance left at the moment. Let's go to 60-52. Now, for 52, this is 14 BS SHPZ and 1UP. They're going up against FSK, FA, and HT. Now, everyone made it into the final zone for 52. Remember, it was kind of like a 1-1-2-2 split. So let's see how things are going right now, right? Remember, there was like we talked about in the past 2 daily recaps, right? There was that kind of exchange that was going back and forth between FSK and 1UP, with them wanting to go at it and, feeling like, oh, hey, why don't we get like a full-on fight at the opening of Zone 2? And here we are. So we got 1UP, and which is here, and then 14BS and SHPZ. So I think SHPZ is here, and then it's 1UP, 14BS, and then it's HD, FA, and then FSK is over here. So let's see what's happening between here. Oh, damn. So FSK is working down a flag right now. Yo, dude, it's my lover boy, Kyle. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? What's up, baby girl? See you out there on the field putting in work with your hammer. Getting a good sweat on. Good job. But wow. I mean, at this point, right, we were wondering what was kind of going on with FSK yesterday when we were taking a look. And now it looks like they're building. They got a flag that's being destroyed there on the 1UP territory. And then what's happening over here? So 14BS is with them. I wonder, are they engaging anywhere here? Okay, so it doesn't look like it. Bunch of bastions are down. And this is where they're connecting. So 1UP fighting against FA on some territory. Oh, this is OPA. Excuse me. Nothing up there. But then what's going on up here with SHBZ? Because they're not connecting to anyone. So interesting. Okay. I mean, it looks like FSK is in full force right now. They, at least at the moment, they appear to have the most amount of players on the field. But it looks like there's still some action. So, I mean, honestly, this feels like, man, like over the next day, it feels like it could turn into anyone's game. Very nice. All right, let's go to 53. So here in 53, everyone made it in to the FZ. The matchup here is going to be BEK, AVIC, Sura. They're going up against -FU, SNIX, and RNW. Okay, so let's take a look at where everyone is. So -FU here. Kurz, that's SNIX. And then we got BK on the other team. Cora is Sura. So now we got to find RNW. Are they up here? They are. So RNW going up against AVIC. Wow, AVIC has pushed them back a decent amount. I mean, basically taking them out of any assistance. So now it's just -FU and SNIX doing what appears to be a 1v2 here. So no one's connected territory there, so nothing's happening. Bastion's over here, but nothing's happening. So it looks like maybe we're going to fight a little bit here in the middle. Who's getting the flag down here? Oh, interesting. SNIX is getting a flag down, but they're still, even if they get this down, they're still one flag away over there from the BEK territory, it feels like. So, okay, but nothing else is happening. Okay, I mean, this clearly feels like it could still be anyone's game. Let's go to 54. So here in 54, the matchup was Law 05DKGRZ going up against Fate SG97 Bear. Now, it's expected to be a 3v2 because Law apparently was losing ground. We talked about that, right? There was maybe a zone 1 lock that happened there. Someone had commented on one of the videos, I think, saying that they might be disbanding. I don't know what the truth of that is. I haven't reached out to anyone there from Law management to ask, or if something else might have been the case. But let's look at what's happening now. So we're going to look for 05DK and GRZ, right? Which I think is Cry. So I think Cry is one of them, and then 05DK is up here. So it looks like they've been thoroughly pushed out. SG97 working down a tower right there a little bit. And then we got, okay, so it looks like tower's going down here for Fate. And then we'll probably end up getting something else going there. Let me see here. So, yeah, GRZ's got some peeps, though, right now that are still fighting. So, But I think overall, right, they've been thoroughly pushed out by the Fate team as they now have control of Dragon. So we'll see how things look officially tomorrow, where maybe it might be appropriate at that time to kind of call winners and losers, but there's still a couple groups, right? We want to try and have at least a lot of the top groups be finished already, so that way we can really call it for everyone. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more of a decision on those 2 or 3 KvK groups that are still seeing some action by that time tomorrow. Now we look at the last group for this one. This is 55. Now remember, this was the 2v4 that was going down. It was VKG up against DK, S2AK, RP, and 262, right? So we got VKG over here. I is over here. At the moment, doesn't look like I is doing any more fighting as far as pushing them back. And it doesn't look like 262 is pushing I on that side. I don't know if F2 or DK or this RP. I don't know if RP or DK are going to continue pushing them. Oh, they are. Wow. So looks like they are continuing to push. They got about 6 minutes left on that, then they'll be connecting. But I guess no one's pushing I, though. Are they trying to push them maybe from a different zone? Let's see here. Nope. Nothing's happening there. So, yeah. I mean, I guess if I wanted to, they could go and get some action by removing territory in other zones, but then that might give the groups in FZ a chance to counter push, same thing with VKG. But at least at the moment, oh, I see. So DK is actually pushing VKG from the back. So yeah, they're getting hit from 2 angles. But I wonder how much resistance, if any, they gave there while maybe focusing fully on final zone, because there's only I was really getting touched. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like the KvK might just well be over. That concludes and does it for us on the day 3 recap. Keep in mind, right, for all of the KvK groups, right, we're a little before day 3, and then for 53, 54, 55, we're basically day 2. So we're about day 2 in. If that gives you any indication on how long the final zones have lasted thus far. I would love to know what you guys think on how performances have played out in your KvK. Was it for the best? Was it maybe not as good? Were you anticipating things maybe lasting a little bit longer in your KvK? Or no, listen, man, I fought to my heart's content. I was available. I was able to get on, whether it was all the time or intermittently. And yeah, hopefully the season thus far has turned out okay for some of you. But like I said, we'll probably do a big final recap maybe tomorrow on the 13th, and maybe even get some streaming in as we take a look at some things and maybe have some other things, I should say, planned if we're able to get to those. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That is it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.